Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So I'm recording this video tonight because I am offsite, but there's a lot of exciting things I want to share, including, of course, Bitcoin rising back up around $31,000. So this morning I mentioned about the Bart Simpson pattern, and now we have a reverse Bart Simpson pattern. You can see that there's definitely some whale games going on. So we dropped from 31.5 all the way down to 29. Now we pump right back up to about that 31.5, and we're hovering around 31,000. So definitely some whale games, some accumulation at this point, but there are a lot of good stuff happening right now. Take a look at this headline. Grayscale bolsters legal team because they really want to get their Bitcoin spot ETF approved. And what better company to have the very first one, because they hold 600,000 Bitcoins in their trust right now, right? So they are very serious about making this happen. And if we do get a Bitcoin spot ETF in the US by the end of this year, this will be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin going forward, right? So pretty positive. Also, what's positive is PayPal is enabling the transfer of Bitcoin from their digital wallet. We know that PayPal is absolutely huge with 200 million users. And now each and every one can buy Bitcoin, not only that, but transfer it to their own wallet. So this is also pretty positive. They finally received their Bit license, which is why they're able to do this. They've been waiting for this for quite some time. So pretty positive news as well. Now, what else is positive today comes from Janet Yellen. Of course, our Treasury Secretary is also worried about inflation, calls inflation unacceptable, but offers almost no solution. So, obviously, Treasury Secretary Yellen, she really doesn't have any power in terms of helping inflation. That really depends on Powell, and Powell's already working on it, right? So she doesn't like inflation, but how this helps Bitcoin is this. Just take a look. Bitcoin is still the best hedge against inflation. Just look at 10 years ago versus now. The dollar has lost 99.98% versus Bitcoin in the last 10 years. Even going back 2 years, lost 69%, right? So even though inflation is bad, it's really bad. You just look at that, right? But it's good for Bitcoin. And this is why we all need to hold on some Bitcoin to hedge against inflation. So even though the inflation is really high, but we're going to get some CPI numbers this Friday. So we'll see if inflation in fact is going down or up. But regardless, still very high inflation, and how we hedge it is to hold on some Bitcoin. All right. So what else is there? Well, this morning I covered this. Right? Some whale bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. $1 billion worth. Just outflew from exchanges, and now we know specifically it's from Coinbase. Right? So why is this happening? Well, this just goes in line with the whalish games that I just talked about, right? Whenever this happens, the whales take advantage. That's why they do it. They cause fear so that you sell, so they buy. And actually, someone else paid attention to this, saying that there's this Bitcoin Binance whale that's been doing exactly that, setting a ton of buy orders right around 29,000. That's why we keep falling to it, right? And they've been buying and buying and buying and buying. So there's definitely some whalish games going on, and a lot of whales that's taking advantage of the cheap Bitcoin that exists right now, right? That's why I've always said ignore short-term volatility. We're going to see some up and downs. We're going to see some whales do their thing, right? But ultimately, what are they doing? They're accumulating. And that is the most important thing right now. We have a massive amount of Bitcoin being bought behind the scenes, and you don't want to fall for that. You don't want to be selling your Bitcoin to them. They already have enough. You want to be accumulating you don't want just them to be accumulating, right? So we have still a lot of buying going on. And even Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor never tweets charts, any kind of charts whatsoever. But even Michael Saylor, I guess, jumped in with his own kind of like stock to flow model or bottom model or reversal model, whatever you want to call it, right? But even he tweeted it. I believe he thinks it's a good buying opportunity. Michael Saylor's been buying for a long time, right? I haven't heard about any big buys recently, but maybe he's gearing up to buy some more. But obviously, if you look at this, you could see that Bitcoin is in a deep, deep, deep blue, and that's usually when it's a good time to buy, right? When reversal is about to happen. So overall, I guess good from Michael Saylor, right? Of course, outside of whales, you still have a ton of people that are buying and holding. Take a look at this. Number of addresses over holding at least one coin is at all-time high. Close to 1 million addresses that are holding at least one Bitcoin. That's crazy. That's a lot, right? But think about it. That's 1 million out of 8 billion. Okay, so it's still very early, but it's not just the whales. Long-term holders, investors are still buying. And many believe that we still have a chance because of all the buying, because of some of the TA models and reversals and things that are coming up now. Many people think, well, we still have a chance to really break out very similarly to 2020. Here's one comparing right now versus 2020. And you got to admit, this looks awfully similar, right? So if Bitcoin follows the same trajectory, and let's say it breaks above this 46,000 mark, right? Does that mean Bitcoin is on its way to 100,000 plus? Maybe. These fractal patterns, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But whether or not it happens this year, next year, 2 years, it's going to happen because of inflation, because of the growing adoption, the growing number of holders, right? The growing fundamentals of Bitcoin. It's going to happen. So overall, stay strong, stay positive. And the only two other things I want to talk about is really some altcoin news. USDC, which is, in my opinion, the most secure and most trustworthy stablecoin right now, is coming to Polygon. So this is obviously going to be very good for Polygon because this is going to boost up their DeFi offering. So that's pretty positive for Polygon. Polygon have been oversold for quite some time. So I think this will help them bounce back. And also, as for you Link Marines, Chainlink have finally released their roadmap in terms of enabling staking, which will definitely help them too, because right now you have a whole bunch of people holding Link. They don't know what to do with it, but pretty soon you could stake it and earn up to 5% interest, and that will definitely help take liquidity out of the market, out of circulation. So that's also pretty darn exciting. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I'm keeping it short and sweet. Overall, Bitcoin is definitely moving in the right direction. I've said I believe Bitcoin's bottom was 25K. We are now in recovery mode, and recovery mode sometimes takes a while. It's not just a V shape. We're still going to get volatility. We're still going to get whale-ish games, which is what we're seeing right now. But ultimately, Bitcoin is going to move forward and get bigger and stronger each and every day. So stay strong, my friends, and tune in tomorrow. I'll try to have a live stream at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm not going to have my morning stream because I am off-site for the remainder of this week. So I'm not going to have my 8:15 streams, but I will plan on having a stream at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you tune in then. All right, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.